Shunned by an alpha, cherished by a Lycan. Chapter 1 Prologue. Yeah, just right there. Fuck me hard. I could feel my jaw clench as the muffled sounds of sex reached my ears from behind Jason's closed door. Luna Anna had specifically asked me to invite him for dinner, but there he was, moaning and groaning with a faceless partner in his room. The sounds of their passion stirred something within me, something that simmered just beneath the surface of my skin. Anger, perhaps? Jealousy? Maybe it was my own secret crush on Jason that made these noises so unbearable. Whatever the reason, I couldn't seem to tear myself away. Fuck. That was so hot. The feminine voice jerked me away from my thoughts as I swallowed hard. 1 minute, I was standing close to the door. The next, the door opened, revealing Jason in his pants, his hot abs on display. And of course, no other person than the bitch herself, Stephanie. A name I dreaded. She stood there in her bikini. Such a SL*T. Look who we have here, the wolfless Jasmine. She sneered, her voice making me angrier. She was always like that, reminding me every moment that I was wolfless. What are you doing here? I looked up to the one person who mattered at that moment, Jason. I came to call you for dinner. My stupid damn voice had to betray me in a moment like this. He didn't say a word, just nodded his head like he's tired-eyed seeing me around. He hated me, I knew it. Maybe it was because I won his parents' affection, or maybe it was because I was a disgrace for not having a wolf. I can't tell any, but I knew he couldn't stand seeing me for minutes. I nodded my head, my chest aching so badly. I was pained, not from anything but the fact that he doesn't feel the same way I do. While my eyes stared at him softly, with all tenderness present, his stared at me, hard and hateful, with an I don't care attitude. That was typical Jason. Wait. Losers like you are not meant to see a face like his, not to mention knocking on his door. Next time you're given such an offer, pass on it. Stephanie, with her bossy attitude, spoke. I rolled my eyes and then intended to walk away when the bitch stepped out from the room and grabbed my hair. Leave her alone, Stephanie, Jason said strictly, and just as if she were being remote-controlled by him, she released my hair. I shot her a deadly glare and then walked away. Well, this was my typical life, a young, wolfless teenage girl who was adopted by the Thane family and perhaps a disgrace to Jason because I have no wolf. He'd rather tell the world that I was adopted rather than let them know that I was his sister. He wouldn't fail to put the tag adopted. How I have a crush on someone like him was very stupid of me. The pack respected me because I was adopted by the royal family. So no one dared to remind me about how wolfless I was. Otherwise, Luna Anna would have their tongue rolling on the floor. The meal with the Thanes was quiet as usual. Dad sat opposite Mom, and I was left to sit facing Jason. Dinner was always fast, but today, for some reason, I couldn't tell why it was so long. Maybe it was a result of my staring frequently at Jason and the fact that I hadn't taken a bite of my food. You can as well place me on your plate and make me your dinner instead, Jason snarled, his eyes on his food. I blinked my eyes rapidly and then diverted my gaze back to my food. Today is the full moon, Jasmine. I'm anticipating knowing who you'll be mated to, Luna Anna, my mom, spoke, her face beaming with a smile as she spoke. I smiled. Of course, this was the day I had been looking forward to, and maybe I'd have a wolf and also a mate. It was only a matter of hours, and my long dream would finally come to pass. Oh! Leave our baby Jasmine out of this. She's so young, and I can't believe that she's finally going to be mated to someone. I mean, she was just so little yesterday. Dad spoke, his voice etched with emotions. In their eyes, I was that little baby they had adopted. But then, I'm freaking 18, a teenager, and would soon be mated to someone. And also you, Jason. It's high time you get off your high horse and find yourself a mate. Your father was 2 years younger than your age when he got married to me, Mom spoke, referring to Jason. Upon immediately hearing his name, he stood to his feet and then walked away. This was typical of Jason. Handsome? Yes. A fuckboy? Yes. A jerk? Maybe yes. A snub? A big yes. But still, my heart chose him of all people. I finished my meal on time and left to prepare for the big day. Heartbeats later, I was present at the club, my eyes staring for one person. And I smiled when I saw her waving over. Ruby Slade, my only closest friend. Hey, Jay, she walked over to where I stood. My eyes took in her dress. She wasn't dressed so badly. Neither was I. At least my parents allowed me to dress myself for a function without their input. Look who is dressed hotly. Ruby could be a bitch sometimes. Her voice was loud as all attention diverted and focused on me. Thanks for having a sassy best friend like Ruby. I heard a familiar chuckle behind me, and then I turned. It's just so unfortunate you won't have a mate because you're wolfless, Stephanie whispered close to my ear. I gulped, clenching my fist, the urge to slam it across her face. But then I couldn't ruin today. Not for someone as bitchy as she was. It's the full moon. Someone screamed, jerking my attention from Stephanie. I smirked at her. How about you watch and see, bitch? And with that, I walked away. I could feel the connection, the bond pulling me to where someone familiar was sitting. I was sure he was feeling the same, too, as he turned and then his gaze rested on me. Mate. I whispered the word. It was a dream come true. My longtime crush, Jason, was staring deeply into my eyes. But then the moment only lasted for a while as he chuckled. Mate? How ridiculous for me to be mated to a wolfless being like you. I, Alpha Jason, reject you as my fated mate. The words he spoke shattered my heart. I felt the world spinning around me as I slumped.